everybody, and welcome. I am Swing, and I'm really excited to be joined by DeMarcon tonight. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. I've been excited to cast with you for a long time, so I'm really happy that we're finally able to do this.
I'm excited for it.
So tonight we have Div A East. This is going to be Red Rockets versus Crisis Management.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for this matchup. So it does have potential playoff implications. So I'm excited to see what's going to turn out for that. It could change the playoff scene.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just
So,
checking with the teams here to see if they're ready. So we're actually going to be going to Cursed Hollow as the first map tonight.
yep. So I'm excited for that. We're definitely going to see some macro-oriented drafts. I'm sure my globals come into action, see how those impact the game. But overall, I'm excited to see what both teams are going to do. I'm always excited to watch these high-level, Division A heroic division games. But can really see some top-notch play as compared to what I see down in Division B.
Yeah, for sure. And just so everybody knows, this is going to be the map choice for Red Rockets, which is going to be the blue team once we get into game. So we'll see what they can do, what kind of strategy they have prepared for this. And Jude G, thank you for the host. Just waiting to see. And to Marcon, thank you for the host.
Yeah, no, I forgot to do that when you went live.
Oh, that's funny. All right, looks like both teams are ready. I'm going to go ahead and get this game launched.
So, crisis management has first ban, first pick. So, what do you think we're gonna
I know in these high levels we see like things like Abathur, things we don't typically see down in the levels that we play in.
Yeah.
So that always kind of pops into my head on a map like this because I know it's a great map for Abathur.
Yeah.
Also, things like Dahaka, Globals are nice here. What do you think?
Yeah, I think probably something with some global potential. But, the app, they're obviously, very strong on a map like this. We got that global potentially, and in the right hands, can really get that early XP advantage. So I think something like that would be really
Yeah.
strong. So the Maiev ban, kind of a bit interesting. I feel like Maiev has kind of fallen a bit out of the meta. Obviously still up there, but in my mind, not really that first ban material.
Right.
Got to see what the ban is. Rockets, whether or not they may go for, maybe like the Haka, knock out that global ability. Obviously,
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be surprised to see a Dahaka ban here.
taking their time with it. Talk right now. Going with the picks.
Yeah, okay. Phoenix is in an interesting place. I mean, in the right hands, he could still be really, really strong. Oh, wow. We got Medivh. First pick Medivh.
Yeah. Obviously, Medivh really strong at high level play, so well, it kind of came as a shock at first. I got to remind myself we're in Division A, and in the right hands, that Medivh can be absolutely lethal, can really change the impact of fights with, a good ult,
Yep.
or something like that.
Yeah, that's going to be really entertaining. I mean, Medivh is always a fun hero to watch, especially, when you have a really good Medivh that's able to put down those portals that, like you said, can really change a team fight or can save, someone from dying, surprise the other team for coming from, weird angles on the map.
Yeah. Always gotta watch the portals. You gotta think.
JakeBot says, nice mustache, DeMarco.
Yeah, it's glad I was gonna get to shave. Jake Butt makes me that.
All right, wait for the first two picks here. Here they come. We've got Diablo and Junkrat for Red Rockets.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously Diablo is one of the stronger tanks right now in the current meta, and obviously Hollow is one of the maps from him, especially because just about every curse point has a wall where get those wall bangs right up to interrupt turn-ins. You can really change the impact of a fight right as that curse point is spawning. There are
Yeah.
just so many walls in between.
Yeah, and then Junkrat, of course, is the master of poking, which is great on a map like this where, the other team is going to be trying to channel the tribute. And so, he can kind of, maybe keep them from being able to do that while he's got teammates, in other lanes, maybe soaking. We'll see how they decide to use Junkrat here.
So I mean, if the side of crisis management doesn't pick up a whole lot of dive, that Junkrat can get a whole lot of value when it comes to different shrines, different that.
Garrosh along with Malfurion. I mean, that's a really nice combination. You get that throw into the Malfurion roots. Plus, you've got Medivh. This is looking pretty nasty on the side of crisis management, I gotta
Yeah,
say.
we're gonna have some pretty good single target lockdown, or especially if they draft, any other, a solo laner like Sonya or something, be able to get a spear, things like that.
I did, Jake. You just gotta wait the 2 minutes for it to catch up. I told him about the mustache comment.
Yeah. So we're on into the second ban phase here. You might want to see, solo lanes might get banned out here, but on the same side, neither team drafted one. So there's still, a lot that you want to leave open. You don't want to kind of put yourself
Mhm.
into a situation where, oh shoot, maybe I did want that.
Oh, okay. So they're going for a Chromie ban here. Now, it's definitely possible that that's something that crisis management is known to play. And if so, then maybe it's some type of target ban here. But that being said, Chromie is also really good at poking tributes and such.
Yeah, the poke there is also really strong. And obviously just an enormous amount of damage, especially in choke points where you aim super hard and everything in between choke points. So obviously Chromie get a lot of good value here. Definitely it might have been something as well compared, specifically for this team might have been bad, but either way, nothing bad from that ban.
Oh no, and then a Stukov ban makes sense as well, especially like we were talking about. This map has some choke points and tight quarters where you're fighting, and that big silence lurking arm circle on the ground can be a real pain. So
Yeah,
yeah,
especially because Garrosh is, his whole engagement is based off of his abilities. So, if you silence the Garrosh as he's trying to move forward towards a curse, you kind of stop the entire engagement from the side of crisis management. So, that Stukov really would have been a pain for them. They never would have been able to get that hard engagement
yeah.
stun or the throw into the stun. It just wouldn't have been a possibility fighting against that silence.
So there's their solo laner. Picking up Sonya is always a strong hero, and then the Lucio I know can be used to kind of help those players that maybe do get thrown by Garrosh. Give them a speed boost, help them escape maybe.
Yeah, definitely an option there. You can also boot back the enemy team on the chase from that. It's also really good on this map, especially if you're going to get poked down a bit. You can expand at those curves a little bit longer because he's up through the poke. So he's one of the best healers that poke. The Sonya was a bit surprising to me. Obviously a strong solo lane choice, but um, I think that was more of a denial pick than kind of the first go to because now that gives Crisis Management this last pick to counter the Sonya. They get a
Mm-hmm.
chance that they win in at least one lane,
Yeah.
as compared to where Red Rockets could have saved that last pick that they have to make sure that the solo lane roll.
Right. They could have seen what solo lane or crisis management picked, and then had the opportunity to counter their pick. Um, so we get the Hanzo and Dahaka. I'm Dahaka makes complete sense here
Yep.
on this map, and Hanzo can be really good. I mean, there are two bosses on the map. Depending on what build he decides to go,
Yeah,
he
they go
can
shred.
shred.
Yeah. Kind of puts a lot of pressure on him, though. If the Medivh isn't really, get some early deaths and, Master's Touch doesn't finish, the Vikings, that's why they were hiding the Vikings. That's where the Sonya came from.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy right now.
What?
Oh
Yeah,
man.
they're so cute. Division A, though, it makes sense that you'd have a player who can play a decent Viking. So
Yeah.
I'm
It,
excited to see how they're going to be able to play into that. Um,
The Junkrat pick makes even more sense now because Junkrat can now like delay that tribute while Lost Vikings are getting value like in all the other lanes. So I really like this a lot more now.
Yeah, see, but what really surprises me is they didn't take a whole lot of heroes that are good at pushing. When it comes to pushing, I mean, Sonya, is obviously she's decent at it, but Sonya's just all around decent at everything. She's that jack of all
Mm-hmm.
trades. But Junkrat, his abilities are half to get structures and things like that. Um, not gonna be able to get that whole lot of siege damage to kind of split push against the Vikings. Say if you're responding in one lane, we're just gonna push you out in the other. So it's a bit of an interesting choice with that. So
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna have to see how they can make that one work.
Yeah, are you thinking maybe they could have picked something other than Sonya is kind of known as a solo laner, maybe something other than Sonya since they were going to have the Lost Vikings?
Yeah, it could have been something, like a gray main where you can then put the Vikings into maps and you send four to or into the lanes and send the fight and send the four man to another one, get some structures and just keep rotating. You're always playing defense. Are you responding to the Vikings? Are you responding to the four man? Either
Mm-hmm.
way, you're always falling behind in something.
Gotcha. All right, well, we will find out soon enough. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams on the blue side. We have Red Rockets. I know that's kind of counterintuitive. But we have Kadra playing Lucio, Juji on Diablo, One Murphy on Junkrat, Ektar is going to play the Lost Vikings, and Peng is on Sonya.
And in red for the side of crisis management, we got Garrosh played by Yoshinai, got Hanzo played by Tad MG, we got Dahaka played by Jazzes. We have uh, we have the Hanzo being played by TG303, and we got Medivh played by DeLorean.
So we've got crisis management moving in hard on this bottom lane right off the bat here.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously with the Vikings, you're gonna always be behind. So it kind of makes sense, get a little bit of that structural advantage to start with. Say you're not gonna be the only one who's pushing all the lanes right now. You're gonna be responding to us for a little.
Right.
Yep. But they are staying a bit too long. I mean, the Hanzo's the only one who started, or the Hakaburo top Hanzo's moving away, and so now they're stuck with 3v4 in that bot lane.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the strategy that Red Rockets is going to use, right? Moving around as a four-man while their Lost Vikings soak the other two lanes. Gives them a
Yeah.
lot of power for getting ganks and for bullying, whatever lane all four of them are in.
Now the Sonya is in that bush and just still hasn't moved. The Sonya is just sitting there unknown. So they think this is still a 3v3 fight. So I think what they're waiting for is that, crisis management steps a little bit forward and then the Sonya just pops out. But now all of a sudden she's moving away and she's going to be looking to fade on.
She might be going to steal this camp here. Looks like that's exactly what she's gonna do.
It's a smart move because they haven't seen Sonya all game. So we've got no idea what she's doing. So I don't know if they would suspect that, but so now Medivh's and Birdwood might have a chance to scout it out, but instead it's just like mid lane.
Yeah, I think Sonya's gonna be discovered here right now.
Yeah. We got some pings for help now.
We did lose a Lost Viking. I think it was the one. Yep, upper lane Lost Viking.
Yep. So one Viking down, and now both teams just collapsing on the siege camp.
That was a nice.
Yeah. Ooh, lift away from the portal though. An early death for Medivh.
Yeah, Red Rockets does end up getting the camp. I mean, it's not going to get much because I think Crisis Management is going to clean that right up, but at least it keeps it, from going over to the other team.
Yeah, and a bit of XP for that as well. It was really good play by the Diablo. Medivh went through ready to kind of stall it out a bit longer. And hopefully, obviously, Junkrat mine through Hanzo out there. So Medivh is going in, just stall it out a bit longer, get the team there ready to contest again, and then all of a sudden, got flipped away from the portal and didn't have that chance.
I need to pump up your volume a little bit. Sounds like you're a little low, which I'll do. But right now, let's look at this team fight.
Yep. So the Viking there, they just had that Viking go and grab that tribute while the rest of them zoned. So you got a Vikings comp, first tribute, you're up in XP, almost losing Diablo, and Diablo will fall to the Hanzo there.
Yeah, Hanzo aggressively goes after the Diablo and is able to finish him off.
But meanwhile, they're still soaking all three lanes with that Vikings, getting that XP advantage. I mean, like
Okay.
even if you look at the stats right now, I mean, Vikings already have 5,500 XP compared to almost twice as much as Dahaka for crisis management. They're really proving their worth already, looking those lanes.
Yeah. Okay, I think I got your volume turned up, so we will check with chat in 2 minutes.
2 minutes. You're back in 2 minutes. Yep. So another
Lost
Viking
another
fallen, but
Viking. Dahaka doing a
not
good job in the top lane when he's able to be up there.
yeah. But it's not the end of the world, losing one Viking. You're still soaking two other lanes. But now we got, one Viking heading here. Five or something. Yep, there's some tribe stacks ready to grab that boost as this next tribute spawn.
Yep.
So no, none of the Vikings are here. So this is only 4 members of Red Rockets right now. They are missing all of the Vikings from this fight, so it's 5v4.
Here comes one Viking. Let's see what they do here.
Sonya getting thrown in.
And getting stunned.
And that's going to be Sonya down, and that's going to be an easy tribute at this point for the side of crisis management. Junkrat almost goes down as well.
Yeah, so that's the one negative thing about TLV is the fact that the other team can take the strategy of just bullying you off every tribute.
Yep. There, Hanzo throwing against that wall, but with his be able to get out of there. He's got the heals, he's got the jump, no problem. Now, Red Rockets is not even. They're only about a quarter of a level, not even half a level up at this point. They're really kind of struggling. I feel like at this point they might have wanted to see a full level lead almost. Oh, but here they might get something.
Hope we got a root on Sonya. She's going to fall.
Yeah, it's thrown around. A great root by Malfurion. It's gonna, throw that fight in the opposite direction. All of a sudden, now we got Garrosh that bush. Loudspeaker that's going to be able to scout him out.
Before we get to Garrosh getting in a little trouble, but that Medivh portal, is just right there. Get him out.
Cleanse himself and get out of there. Portal, he's out. So that's a nice job by them, saying, you're going to take anyone, we're going to be able to get him out. Now Delaran looking for that stall, but there's the Junkrat folk that we were talking about. That's been pulled out for so long.
Yep, and Sonya's back as well, so.
Yep.
Medivh getting low.
Ends now being hit due to that little bit of an XP advantage. Can they turn this fight with their ults? Ults are about to come out though. Crisis management, but they lose Medivh. Touch stacks are gone.
Yep, Garrosh is getting really low. Looks like they're just going to have to go ahead and back out. So let's talk about these heroics. So the heroics coming out on the side of Red Rockets are Sound Barrier for Lucio. We've got APOC for Diablo. Riptire for Junkrat. Play Again for TLV. And Sonya went Wrath of the Berserker.
Yeah, no, I don't want to say anything too surprising there. So all of that, makes sense. The only, difference that you might see is, Sonya might go leap, but, you don't really want to go that into him, especially, Medivh's polybomb, so wouldn't really get any value there.
Yeah, we had a Viking go in and bribe the Merc camp here.
Yeah.
That's funny. We also have heroics coming out on the side of Crisis Management, and we've got the Warlord's Challenge for Garrosh, Dragon's Arrow for Hanzo, Isolation for Dahaka, Twilight Dream for Malfurion, and Medivh went Polybomb. That's interesting. Polybomb.
Yeah, I think it's going to provide good value, especially when Sonya, if whoever the Garrosh throws in, you got that polybomb. I think it really makes a lot of sense to make sure you're securing kills on throws, making sure if the Sonya goes too deep that you can punish that, shut down that spin to win. I think it does provide a lot of value against such a team, especially, let's say Diablo charges, polybomb that, get that out of there. I think there is a lot of potential.
Yeah, for sure. And you can see the Junkrat Re1 Murphy poking, keeping crisis management from really having any shot of, getting a free channel here.
Yep, it's Diablo going for a flank. But you see, there's the spin, the shove, the huge Twilight Dream, and a taunt. Epoch being popped.
Oh, Sonya healing right back up with a spin to win, though. Medivh's gonna fall.
But he just got too far onto the left side of the screen, and it didn't work out well for him. He had already used his protection, and it's just out for him.
Yeah, Malfurion's so low. But we are going to have a curse against crisis management.
Yep. So, and this is where this Viking soak is really going to provide a lot of value. You're getting all 3 lanes of those minions that are so easy to kill. Meanwhile, they were forced to respond to the 4-man or the Vikings. They can't respond to both, and it looks like they're responding to the Vikings, trying to stop all 3 lanes. So this 4-man is now moving on to
Jagbot in chat is asking, why is one team not all specialists? That's an excellent question.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it works, so I don't know what they're doing.
So we've got a huge push going in onto the keep wall down here in the bottom lane, and it will fall.
Yep, but they weren't able to defend any other lanes because of that, and the XP advantage is really starting to show now. A 3-level lead, and they're going to pick up the Dahaka.
Yeah, a nice taunt went out on Kadra and got Lucio low, and they were able, crisis management was able to pick him off, but they do lose Hanzo and Dahaka in the process.
Yeah, it was a good rip tire to say, we're making sure that you're not
this top lane.
We're taking at least one of you again, like. But now, yeah, 3.5 level lead for the side of Red Rockets, just due to being able to soak all 3 of those lanes during a curse, while still pushing in on a keep.
Yeah, look how much the Vikings were able to push those lanes out with that curse. That was crazy.
Yep, I mean, top keep wall and mid keep wall are completely gone.
The top keep just fell.
Ooh, top keep did fall. I didn't even see that.
Yeah,
wow.
it just happened.
Wow.
And at the bottom, we've got a boss. Wow, they are really,
Yep, so
they're cooking.
Pushed in, Kata's top, boss pushing in bot, and now there's the rotation up top. They're looking to get that double boss. And this is going to be a boss going on to core in this top lane if they can get this.
Yeah. And it does not look like crisis management is making any sort of move whatsoever to stop them. They really can't. I mean, look at the talent tier.
They got to defend against the boss. They're down a talent tier, you're right. And they've got a boss pushing in on a keep. They can't afford to lose a second keep 11 minutes into a game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, but the thing is, if they could defend both of these bosses, that actually will take a little bit of pressure off them, I feel like. For a while anyway, until, if they're able to keep Red Rockets from getting more tributes, and that curse with the Vikings is just devastating.
Yep, and now the Vikings do have I think what they're doing now is they're going to bribe this bottom siege camp. Yep, so there's the bribe going out onto that bottom siege camp, and they're going to, the side of crisis management is defending this boss. They're going to be getting bottom keep anyway due to Vikings push into that siege camp. And, they got 4-man on mid, so they're going to have all of the keeps down here, before we hit, 13.
Yeah, I mean, this seems to be just a... I'm getting an education for sure on how exactly you're supposed to play with TLV. I mean, they have just... Red Rockets have just played this beautifully.
Yep. And, I mean, it was a good job. They held the pick last. That's obviously why they held... they chose their... the Sonya earlier, what we assumed was the solo laner. No chance to take something that was counter, nothing like a Murky, that, you can respawn quickly, get those lanes pushed out. Nothing like, maybe take something real crazy like a Butcher, get those kills and, stack up meat quickly. So,
So look at the structure damage. This is insane. All keeps are gone on the side of crisis management. And
yeah.
And Red Rockets hasn't even lost a fort yet.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. And I mean, still 2 tributes needed for crisis management to get a curse at this point, which which is so unlikely, as the side of Red Rockets is playing for 20, which I mean, it's going to be level 20 to 16 at at
Mhm.
around the same time.
That's going to be tough. What do you think that crisis management would have to do to turn this around?
I think they got to start looking for picks. I think they need to, yeah, it's like that. They got the Viking out of there, and now they need to look for a pick on the four-man. But the problem is, the four-man, they're always together. They need to catch somebody slightly out of there, get a quick kill, and, uh, and then kind of snowball from there and start trickling, start getting, um, you know, start getting kills, that are, sprinkled throughout, really just kind of always keep at least one member down.
All right.
Just a matter of whether or not that's a possibility for them. And I mean, now they're being zoned out of this. They don't have much of a choice here.
Yeah. Dahaka is going to burrow away.
Tribute's down. Next tribute is first point.
I
And
mean,
Dahaka going bot for the siege.
oh, right.
I don't know. Going to defend. I'm going to say Vikings could go bribe that siege camp pretty soon. Yeah, there's the polybomb onto the Sonya in the top lane as she went in, but unfortunately, without the tank, not much you can do to lock her down any further, and she's going to get out of there.
Garrosh is getting really low. Gets a protection from Medivh. They've got a Merc camp starting to hit the core, and also Red Rockets pushing in.
Yep. Ooh, big arrow lands. Remember, Apoc's going to have to be dropped to kind of force crisis management to back out a little bit. Now, Junkrat just so low in that back line. Meanwhile, Diablo's having a hard time getting out of the other back line.
Yeah, he did have souls, so Diablo will be back. But
they ignored 3 Katas and Siege Giants. And
it's just too much on the core. There was just too much on the core.
Pressure was just too much.
Man, that was... I mean, there was just pressure constantly, like all game long. I just felt like...
I mean, the Vikings literally triple the XP of Dahaka. 3 times the experience.
That's insane. 30,000 experience. Wow.
It was the first curse. The fact that they got that first curse, the value that they got from it was just too much crisis management to fight back into. It was pretty even until that first curse. And after that first curse, I mean, they were 3.5 levels down, and they just didn't have a chance coming back from that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like we were talking about during that game, I mean, that was a beautiful illustration on how to use the Lost Vikings and, how to push with them and take advantage of a huge map like Cursed Hollow.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
Towers of Doom for the second game. So we're going to have to see play a little bit more team fight oriented rather than the match.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be interesting to see crisis management. We've got to kind of like regroup a little bit. We may even see a Vikings ban because this is a map I know some people like to play the Vikings on.
It is a possibility of taking the Vikings on there. Obviously, you force, you force them to respond to the bot lane, we soak the other ones, and then, while they're busy, responding to that 4-man, the Vikings go and grab the altars. So it might be something that we see banned out here.
Right.
But I do think that we're going to see a little bit more of that team fight oriented draft coming up for Towers.
Right. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break here while we get the second game set up. It should just be a couple of moments. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and watching this match. We'll see what happens in game 2. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Swing, and I'm still here with Demarcon. He did not run away in between games, so yay.
Yeah, mistakes were made. I guess it.
So we're back with Game 2, Division A East. We've got Red Rockets versus Crisis Management. So Red Rockets did pull off the win on the first map on Cursed Hollow with some really great Lost Vikings play. Now we're on Towers of Doom. Now this is the map choice for Crisis Management. Demarcon, what do you think Crisis Management's thinking right now as far as, maybe a different strategy they could use after seeing what Red Rockets was throwing at them in Game 1?
I mean, hopefully they don't get too shaken up by it. Hopefully they're sitting there and they're just saying, clearly we as a team don't know how to play against the Vikings. And I mean, part of it was just they had a bad draft against the Vikings. They didn't take any Vikings killers, but that's not their fault. They had Tahaka, which, got Vikings occasionally. If you actually look, the kills were actually pretty close because of that. But in reality, they didn't have anything powerfully, actually stand against a Vikings comp. So I don't want them to get too shaken. I feel like I don't want them to say, let's abandon everything we know, everything, thought we were good at, and let's just change up our entire draft. I kind of want them to stick with what they know. Especially, because I don't think we're going to see the Vikings here. And, if we don't, I want to see a little bit more of what they can do when they've got that comp that they're expecting to go up against.
Right. And we do have Red Rockets starting off with a Chromie ban once again. And again, we've got a Maiev ban coming out from Crisis Management. So far, both teams
Pretty
similar bans from Game 1.
Yep.
So here we go. First pick, Towers of Doom. Let's see what Red Rockets does. Because they definitely fooled us. I mean, when we saw them take the Sonya, they completely had us fooled. We were never at any point thinking, oh, TLV.
I always forget about Vikings, even in upper level competitive play.
Yeah, I could never play the Vikings. It's it's just too much to think about at once. My hat's off to people who are able to pull TLV off. I'm so impressed with you people.
Yeah, it's so impressive. Like, I struggle so much in like the 2 games I've played of Vikings. Fed.
I'm just in awe of people that can manage all those Vikings. Oh wow! Okay, so we've got Medivh on the other side, and also first pick.
Yep. So they took that for themselves that game. Um, I wonder if they were saying, yeah, that kind of worked out for them. Well, we were a bit afraid of what they might do in a comp where they weren't just out macroed. If we're getting into more of those team fights, maybe they were worried about what that Medivh was doing and wanted to kind of deny it. Or else maybe they're looking into something, working with those portals, kind of getting in there, forcing something.
Now I know I have seen the strat done before on this map with Medivh and a certain other hero named Stitches.
Ditches Medivh. All right. I was like, I think.
Do you think that could be a possibility coming out from Red Rockets?
I mean, Stitches Medivh is always a threatening combo, regardless of what map it's on. Just huge displacement, Especially, we'll have to see. Are they going to take, Malfurion Healer? That might show us a little bit more towards Stitches, but
Oh, interesting. I
that's not going
wonder.
to be available for them.
Yeah, I wonder. In the interview, if we do end up interviewing Crisis Management, I want to make sure we remember to ask them if they picked the Stitches specifically to deny that from Red Rockets, or if they really were intending to pick Stitches the whole time.
I'll write it down.
Because I'm curious. All right, so we do have Stitches and Hanzo coming out for Crisis Management here. So obviously Hanzo, a hero that they really like.
Yeah, something they feel comfortable on, so nothing too surprising there.
Diablo coming out of Medivh portal can be very terrifying.
Yeah. Obviously that Diablo is always very threatening. Especially if you're grabbing that altar, you might get smashed into it. So you gotta be very careful where that Diablo is and where you are. And
Deckard.
then with the healing.
Nice.
What I'm wondering is, are we gonna see maybe a ley line APOC stay a while and listen kind of wombo combo? Might have some big big combo potential there, especially.
I could see Lornado being really solid on this map as well. But stay a while. Listen, there's just something so cool about it.
Yeah, it's just like when you land that big one, and it's just like, just get wrecked by it. They're going for that Junkrat ban. They don't want any of that stalling to go on, and clearly that's not something they want to take as the next available.
Yep. Yeah, on this map, the Junkrat ban makes sense for sure, especially. Yeah. I mean, the Junkrat played very well in game 1, so I can understand them not wanting to face it here.
It was caught out of position, but overall did really great damage last game.
What are you thinking here? Are they going to ban like a healer, maybe? Maybe Malfurion?
Yeah, I think the Malf or the Uther ban at this point make the most sense. I mean, obviously Uther is one of those supports that works really well with Hanzo, and as well as the stun into the Stitches. I feel like we might that.
Mm-hmm.
Going for a Vikings ban of their own.
Okay. So, unfortunately, I'm very sorry, but we are not going to be seeing the Lost Vikings in Game 2, everyone. I know we're all disappointed.
Games in a row. Yeah, so now 2 picks. That leaves Malf and Uther both available as supports to kind of work with that Stitches.
Mm-hmm. I like Red Rockets, how they're drafting right now. They're leaving those 2 slots, there to counter whatever Crisis Management pulls out. And they do grab the Malfurion along with Sonya.
Yep, so they've got a little bit of... What's interesting is they've gone kind of like for that dive and kind of the least dive tank.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got Stitches with literally 0 dive potential unless you go Bile. I guess they could go Bile and try to do a little bit of dive with that, and maybe combo that with some Sonya spinning. We might see something like that. I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
What do you thinking we're gonna see here? Obviously they need damage.
Yeah, obviously damage is going to be important. I think a Jaina might be strong here in terms of like zoning potential along with those lows, high burst damage,
Phoenix is
as
still
well as
available too. I don't know if that's something they might be interested in.
Phoenix is still available. That's true. I also a Gray Mane might pop up, obviously, for some just great overall sustain damage.
Whoa!
Kel'Thuzad Diva,
I I don't
not a
think
guess
I
what.
don't think I've ever cast a diva before. This is my first time.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. The
Winky
Kel'Thuzad is kind of
face.
what catches me off even more
Yeah, wow. Especially
Jake.
especially with the Diablo. Sometimes you're wearing such a cute top to mark
Yeah,
on.
apparently.
The chat is just all over
My plain navy blue top.
it. But yeah, Kel'Thuzad and Diablo can sometimes have a little bit of anti-synergy, with Diablo flipping and such. So, but as long as they're on the same page with that.
Yeah, as long as they're coordinated. But what I'm more concerned about is if you look at that front line, got Stitches Sonya front line, so you're not going to kill the Stitches with any combo. Stitches is,
Mm-hmm.
I think he's still the tankiest tank out there. I think he's
The
got the highest health
tankiest
pool.
tank in all the
Yeah.
land.
He goes Dampen Magic at 1, I assume, in this situation up against Kel'Thuzad. Got that extra spell damage. Sonya, can get out of there, with her ancient spear that she's going to get. Hanzo can
Mm-hmm.
jump out of things.
And we
Genji's
did
going to be
get
hard to get back
Genji,
down.
yeah, as the
And
last pick.
Malfurion should be in a position where he shouldn't really ever have to worry about those chains.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a really interesting draft. I kind of don't know what to think. Do you prefer one over the other?
I think I prefer the draft of Crisis Management unless Kel'Thuzad can execute. I think if Kel'Thuzad does manage to get, somehow get the Hanzo, somehow get the Malfurion, the Genji, and maybe even the Sonya in certain situations, I think if that Kel'Thuzad can do that, I think then they're going to have a really easy.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I think I prefer the draft of Crisis.
All right, well, let's introduce our teams. On the blue side, we have Red Rockets, and Kadra is going to be playing Diva. Medivh will be Riwan Murphy. Ektar was TLV last game, is actually going to be on the support Decker this time. Juji on Diablo, and Peng playing Kel'Thuzad.
And on red for Crisis Management, you have TADMG playing the Hanzo. We've got TJ303 on the Malfurion. You have Yoshime on the Stitches. We got Delaran playing the Genji. And we got Jesus on the Sonya.
Riwan Murphy in a lot of trouble on Medivh, but
Yeah.
so is Genji. Gets
Not
down
that
to 70-something health.
That's what I was talking about, though, with that. If they can get the combo on the Genji, things are going to work well.
Yeah. So it looks like
Oh, great
everybody's
job.
splitting into lanes now.
Yeah, it was a good job by Kel'Thuzad there.
So we've got Sonya going to the top. We've got Kadra moving up here on Diva, along with Medivh in the top lane. And then Genji's alone right now. We've got... I think Kel'Thuzad's actually moving up to middle to soak.
Yeah, they're probably going to want somebody else to get up there at some point, especially because Genji's going to be able to push this lane in right now, and then, you don't have any stun potential.
We've got Diablo moving into kind of a ganky position here, but...
Oh, Hanzo's available, kind of cut out. Crisis Management's going to have to move back down to kind of make sure that Hanzo stays safe. Yeah, I mean, it's got a bit of an awkward four-man rotation going on. Neither team really well, but they're trying. Very interesting.
Yeah, that vision of Hanzo is going to be very useful for crisis management on these rotations.
There goes a hook and the root follow-up, but Medivh Portal's going to play it.
Yeah.
Kel'Thuzad
Stitches has
taking,
so much health.
yeah, ooh, Kel'Thuzad got way too far forward there.
Ooh.
That's gonna be Kel'Thuzad dying first blood of the game.
Yep. Looks like the others for Red Rockets will escape. Do you see anything interesting in the talents here? Again, we've got Hanzo. Actually, Hanzo went redemption this time.
Yes, Hunter did go for redemption, and I think that kind of makes a lot of sense. I think getting those auto attacks, you have a fairly squishy team once you get past Diablo, and I think getting a lot more auto attacks in does make a lot of sense. It is going to provide a lot of value, especially in those long sustained team fights at altars.
Right.
Yeah, I mean stacking fairly well already at 6 stacks for that. But I mean, other than that, talents are looking fairly normal, and we've got 3 altars spawning.
Yep. So let's see what's going on here. We got Sonya in the upper right, but Diablo is going to prevent her from channeling. Hanzo already picked up the bottom altar. Genji in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, really interesting splits here going on. Now we're going to see crisis management. Bit of trouble as some of their members are low, even at their own altar.
Yep. So it looks like they'll have to give up that right altar. So
They did get the bottom one. And they did manage to actually get that one. It looks like Red Rockets didn't really want to re-engage there. And I think if they had re-engaged, it would have turned out well for them. So a little bit disappointed, but the shot calling makes sense. You don't want to take any unnecessary risks so early in the game.
right.
Yeah. But that does mean half a level XP advantage and a 4-shot advantage going on. Diablo was there for that, I think.
So it looks like crisis management is thinking about stealing this camp here.
Yeah, I mean, Sonya's in a lot of trouble. So that, wow, that was some interesting bugs going on with that.
I missed what happened. Was it when Sonya
There
died?
was a Stitch's helping hand at the same time as a Diablo charge,
Oh,
and the helping hand
interesting.
hit and pulled, but then Sonya teleported back to where the dive would have hit.
Malfurion's going down here.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate for the Sonya, though. It looked like basically what happened visually isn't what happened in the code. And then finally it caught back up. It seemed like the code was a bit ahead of what the game wanted it to do.
Yeah, sorry about the channel chat, guys. Not exactly sure how to turn that off, but I think someone said if I go to busy in game that it won't show up. So I will try that in one moment here.
I didn't know that showed up in game.
Yeah, it does, unfortunately. So we've got Sonya channeling the right altar here. Doesn't look like anybody's gonna make it in time to stop her. So they're just gonna trade.
Yep, and that's fine. You know, this early in the game. Nothing too bad with that at this point.
Alright, let's see if that takes care of the chat. So we talked about Hanzo Vision really helping all these rotations, and of course Medivh is wonderful as well on the side of Red Rockets.
Yeah, it really makes sure you don't have to worry about any hooks coming out of nowhere. You don't have to worry about any Diablo charges coming out of nowhere. Does make for a very boring cast as they just rotate.
Yeah. Sonya working on the camp up top.
Kel'Thuzad getting caught out. That Kel'Thuzad has to play safer.
Yeah.
They keep taking that extra step forward in order to get out a spell or something as the rest of the team is starting to back off. And, you don't want a repeat of that hook that happened earlier in the game.
Right. And there's another hook, and followed by a beautiful root by Malfurion.
Yep. The portals, though, to kind of get out of there. Very smart play.
Yep. Medivh's getting really, really low.
Yeah. Gonna end up going down to that Genji. But is Genji gonna... Oh, no.
Gets out.
And be able to get out of there.
Maybe?
Would be able to get out of there.
Yep. does escape. I was thinking maybe that Diablo might have, been able to charge down onto Genji and finish him off, but
I don't know if they had the vision though, is what it
yeah,
was.
exactly.
But now tens are going to be here for both teams as these altars, bottom altar, mid altar really is spawning. Twilight Dream used.
We've got Diablo getting low, is able to charge away to get to safety.
I think there was a bit of a misplay there, you know. So they got ults and Kel'Thuzad has that global ultimate ability at that point, but used it kind of to help the Diablo, who I think would have been safe anyway, rather than
Aggressive
interrupting.
portal here. Wow, Genji almost dying, gets out,
Ley
Medivh
line, there's
falls.
ley line, Diablo, Kel'Thuzad combos coming out.
Yeah, Stitch is such a tough target.
Yeah, too tanky. There's the hook though. Forge
Oh,
is up on the
nice
stitches.
chain by Kel'Thuzad there onto Genji, but Genji is going to get his revenge.
Yep. There is the gorge onto the deck. Gonna get slowed down. Gonna just clean himself up with those potions, but the Genji's gonna head.
Yeah, so
Take him
let's
down. Well,
oh, I think Diablo is gonna make it out. Barely. So let's talk about heroics real quick. So on the side of Red Rockets, we've got Big Shot from Diva, while Hanzo steals this camp here. Leyline Seal, Stay a While and Listen, Apocalypse for Diablo, and Shadow Fisher for Kel'Thuzad.
I wouldn't say anything too surprising there. I think all of that makes sense. Going into it, you have a lot of combo potential. You got interrupt potential from the Kel'Thuzad and Diva. Nothing. I do have to say, I think the putrid bile from the stitches, though, I would think I would have liked to see bile you come into it. You know, you got this Sonya dive, you got some Genji dive. I think he kind of wanted to give Stitches a bit more dive potential as well.
Yeah, real quick before the fight, we got Dragon's Arrow, Twilight Dream, Wrath of the Berserker, Dragon Blade, and Gorge.
Diablo taking that Dragon's Arrow to ensure Decker doesn't get hit by it. Beautiful stay a while and listen, but he's gonna get gorged.
Nice combination with the Apocalypse as well. Sonya getting low. Decker in
got
trouble.
there. Barely gonna be getting out, but they did get those shots, which was really necessary for them.
Yeah.
At this point in the game, they kept falling too far behind. But Diva, very tricky situation. Sonya rooted.
Oh, Sonya is gonna make it out. Genji Dragon Blading. Really nice job by Diablo saving Kel'Thuzad there. Diva does fall.
Now, and the cleanse.
Okay, so we've got 28 to 24. So it's a very even game in terms of core shots at this point.
Yeah, it was a really good job by Red Rockets there, making sure that they got those shots. I think had they not gotten those shots, they would have found themselves in a very tough position. You know, they would have been 3 altars behind had that been grabbed up by the side of crisis management. So really good job by the Diablo taking that Dragon's Arrow. It worked out beautifully for them. Now we got that triple altar phase popping up in 30 seconds. That's might change the course of the game right here, depending on how the macro.
Yep, and Crisis Management is still up a talent tier here, so they are quite happy to take any fight that Red Rockets wants to bring. And we've got a hook and a gorge onto Deckard.
Dragon's Arrow to slow down the response. Stay a while and listen coming out, grabbing 4 members as Sonya walks into it. Twilight Dream only landing on 2 though.
That was such a nice protect from Medivh saving Deckard there.
Yeah, really great play. A little bit of
disengaging ley line
energy. Yeah, but it's gonna work out just fine. And all 5 members of both teams are walking away, along with just about every ultimate used. But now Diablo in a bit of trouble there.
Oh boy, Kel'Thuzad.
I think this Kel'Thuzad's playing just too far forward, and it's been an issue. And as a result, they haven't been able to combo effectively. I mean, you can see still only at 28 stacks needed. Can't work out. However, they were side of Red Rocket were able to grab 2 of the altars, and only 1 for the side of Crisis Management. So we are back in tied up in shots now, despite the XP.
So Stitches does fall there to the Kel'Thuzad damage.
And that was also enough to finish up the quest. So finally at 30, so this Kel'Thuzad's got a big power spike now. Up that trait.
Right. And thank you, chat, for the tips on the in-game channels. I will definitely make sure to keep that in mind for next time. I appreciate you letting me know where that checkbox is, though.
Now we see the side of crisis management now grabbing their siege camp, but the portal in and the ley line looking to steal that, and they do successfully steal that and
Here
get
comes
the
Dragon's
halter.
Blade. APOC coming out.
Real Murphy struggling,
Ooh, yeah.
gonna fall. El'Thuzad as well, getting very low, is gonna get one kill though, is gonna pay for it with his life though.
So we've got a 3-2 here. 3 players go down for crisis management, 2 for Red Rockets. And
But
we do have altars.
And Kel'Thuzad has returned, so this should be 2 altars now. Going
Oh,
over.
wow. That was a nice flip into the stay a while and listen there.
Yeah, but now
Deckard in a lot of trouble, though.
Pink's just not peeling there. But they should be able to get all.
So we did get a channel already by Red Rockets.
Now should be able to peel this out. The Dodd now getting the Sonya. Are they going to be able to combo that onto somebody? Onto the Glacial Spike there. But now we do. Hanzo getting real close to getting it. But they're going to.
Hanzo down.
Oh, sorry. That.
It looks like
fight.
Red Rockets is going to get this altar as well.
Yeah, they're turning it around. They're grabbing these altars.
There's a Gorge again on the Deckard.
Yeah, Leyline going out. Landing on one member. Deckard's going to fall, though, but Sonya as well due to that charge. But we're most likely going to see Kel'Thuzad fall as well. And Twilight
Diablo.
the most likely, but barely getting out of there.
But do you think it was worth it? I mean, they did get both altars.
I think it's up to crisis management to determine whether or not it's worth it. If they can grab the siege camp, if they can push in and get the tower, I don't think it's worth it. If their siege isn't fast enough, if they take too long and they don't get enough value off of this fight, I think it was worth it. I think it puts them at a good advantage, going forward, where they have a lot of shots to play with at this point. So it's kind of up to crisis management to see what they do, and they're going for the boss is what they're doing. So
yep, I think that they're gonna get it with no problem at all.
Yeah. However, they didn't really get a tower, so worth it, I'm not sure, but I wouldn't say it wasn't at this. I think it's a very close call in terms of the value that they got from that.
Right.
It goes out and misses, though, and they're going to back off and take this top siege. Deckard is forced to respond in the bot lane. Diablo responding mid. They kind of had a little bit of push all three. So.
Yeah, so both teams converging up toward the top lane here.
We've Genji,
got... Oh, nice job by Diablo charging in at the last second there.
Bitches.
Leyline.
Curious position.
A little bit of anti-synergy.
There's the Gorge.
I think that's just going to buy a little time. I think Stitches is going down here.
Yep. Meanwhile, though, we that altar being picked up on the right side for crisis management completely ignored. So the altars are going to trade 1-for-1 in what should have been an ACG altar phase after that Genji kill for the side of Red Rocket.
Right, and now we're down to single digits for crisis management on their.
Yeah, we were talking about the anti-synergy. There kind of happened there, flipping the Sonya out of it, but Sonya is going to fall anyway due to that 8. So very nice job making sure that they did secure that. Now they should be able to secure this top tower as well. Now all of a sudden, crisis management, the rest of this game. Nothing they can do. They're playing.
Yeah. Oh wow, Malfurion. Oh, nice ice block by Malfurion.
But the root lands anyway, and he's gonna fall. Now getting stunned out of that Dragon Blade. Very nice job by Diablo.
Wow, Juji is playing amazing right now.
Absolutely amazing Diablo plays coming out in this last 2 fights. really kind of, I would say Diablo's just almost carrying at this point in the game, despite but struggling in that early game. I would say just kind of tank and defend his team. A lot of stitches hooks coming out, things like that that the Diablo might have wanted to take. But I would say at this point, really kind of coming through and showing that he knows how to play Diablo, no doubt about it.
Oh, for sure. So Red Rock's going to go ahead and move in on the Merc camp down here. Oh, a nice hook by Stitches onto Deckard.
That Deckard keeps getting hooked. It's Eldersod in the early game, and now it's Deckard. But now they have to defend against these pumpkins pushing into the bot lane as this altar is spawning. So Sonya's doing her best, but now with Diablo and Kel'Thuzad, a lot of damage coming out.
Wow.
The Hellgate into the charge. Oh my god!
That was gorgeous.
Beautiful plays coming out.
This is just, this puts Crisis Management in such a tough position. They're 4v5. The altar has spawned. It looks like Red Rockets is going to delay channeling this. I think they're going to try to get this fort down here first to get an extra shot.
Yep. Smart play by them, however...
There's a little bit more anti-synergy. Yeah, it's tough sometimes with Kel'Thuzad and Diablo, but you know what? I mean, they're doing great, so...
There goes Stitches. Did only end up getting 5 shots, though, due to top being captured again by Genji and Hanzo, but that did mean that they took that fight down 2 members, lost Stitches. Now, boss is up for another minute and a half, so the game isn't over quite yet. There's still potential as 20s are now going to be hit for the side of Crisis Management. They do have the potential to take another fight and come back.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and this map is, well known for its comeback mechanics, so nobody is ever really out on this map until the game is over. Diablo going in aggressively. Huge silence.
Yeah, he went in for the stay a while and listen, but the Twilight absolutely shut it down, and Dragon Blade just doing massive damage now.
Oh yeah, Medivh in big trouble. Does have Portal up just in time. That is going to save the rest of the team.
Yep, APOC did miss everybody, so that's a shame. If APOC had hit, they would have had a chance to round. Kel'Thuzad just kind of throwing out spells in desperation. Hit anything, and now they just kind of want to wait until Deckard is back up. They got a 2 altar face. They got some strategy to play with going into this next altar phase.
Right. So Crisis Management does need both of these altars. D.Va is about to lose her mech.
Be able to tap.
Oh wow! Medivh falls. So might Diablo? Nope. He's gonna get out. Crisis Management is not done yet.
Not quite yet. So this, if they get both of these, which they should be able to at this point,
a nice hook on
Kel'Thuzad. Down to 6-3. Kel'Thuzad falling. They're just losing member after member. They gotta stop staggering these deaths. But there's the hungry.
Double gorge there.
Yep.
So we already have one of the altars channeled. Hanzo is now channeling the second altar.
D.Va bomb being out.
All right, so now this is getting very close.
And they're keeping
still a while. Listen, hits 4.
The kill from Hanzo. Big root lands.
Nice ice block. Malfurion's gonna escape barely. Kel'Thuzad is down. D.Va going in on the back line, trying to finish off Malfurion. Stitch is so low.
Back to everybody. Can D.Va go in and get one of these kills? Gets the Stitches. 2 members down now.
They are going to make a play for this boss.
Got a potential throw coming in now. Here's the thing. This boss fight is basically going.
But they do have Medivh. They've got that ley line.
True, ley line is up.
Oh, if Medivh falls, though. Oh, no.
Lost it. They're trying to push everybody off.
Oh, no.
Dragon Blade. APOC lands. There's the silence.
D.Va trying to push him off at the last second, but Crisis Management is going to steal this boss. Not only that, but they got a couple of huge kills there. And Red
Yeah.
Rockets is going to be missing 2 players for this altar. And this is game. This altar this is it. Wow. I don't know if Red Rockets can pull this off.
Problem is Kel'Thuzad went shifting malice, so the poke is going to be a challenge. They're going to have to struggle. If they had gone the resets on the ultimate ability, if it hit somebody, they could have potentially stalled out for a lot longer. But now they have to fight this 5v situation. They don't have an option when it really comes down to it.
We've got a Gorge on Kel'Thuzad. Diablo's down. Dang. I think this is it.
Yep, that's going to be game. GG's being called.
Wow. What a game. Look at that. It was so close.
Coming in, and he portal in. He does portal in. Leyline going out, but only grabbing 2 members. They're stalling now, but when it really comes down to it.
Yeah.
Come
on, Deckard! You got this!
Oh!
Oh, man.
GG's, though. Splitting the series 1-1.
All right, let's check this out. Okay, so I've got the match summary up right now. And D.Va doing a lot of siege damage in that game. So we had 27 kills to 18 kills. So this was a game with a lot of team fighting and a lot of death.
5 the last.
Yeah, look at the Diablo hero damage. Wow.
Carrying the team when it comes to damage. Yeah, I mean, Kel'Thuzad had a rough time in the early game. And that's kind of your carry. They kind of took a hyper carry Kel'Thuzad, and it just struggled in the early game. And I think kind of what we were talking about in chat, it was kind of up to that Kel'Thuzad. What we said before the game. If the Kel'Thuzad can land the early kills, they had it. But the early game was a big struggle for the Kel'Thuzad. Did a lot better in the mid game, struggled a bit more in the late game. But in that early game, just wasn't really doing what they needed to, really get.
I'm gonna see if we can get Tad MG from Crisis Management in for an interview. And so let me ask him about the stitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really exciting. I mean, Towers of Doom is just such a fun map. And Crisis Management, this was their map pick, but it was, I think, a lot closer than they were hoping it would be there.
It really came down to the wire. It came down to that boss play. I just think the boss was too risky of a call. I mean, obviously, they had the advantage going into it, but they lost too many members on the side of Red Rocket to, really contest any alter phase that came up after that. So
yeah.
There was just too much risk had they lost it. And they did, so.
For sure. So if you want to jump in with me, I jumped into lobby 2 on NGS Discord, and Tad MG, the captain for Crisis Management, has agreed to jump in for an interview. So that'll be great. And chat, once again, I appreciate the pointers. I am a new caster this season, so, I know everything's not quite perfect yet. But thanks for bearing with me, and thanks for giving me a little guidance. I do appreciate that for sure. So,
It'll definitely get interesting to get some insight into each of those games. The first one, which is just they got stomped, and the second one was just such a close match.
Yeah.
Nail biter all the way until the end. So it'll definitely be interesting.
That boss fight was really exciting.
Really well.
And they got in there and they killed exactly who they needed to kill, which was the Medivh. Medivh was really the only one that could really thwart
It was the
them.
one that mattered, and they that's what they focused on. They got it. Their focus was just pristine in that boss fight. So really good job by Genji hopping in there and getting that kill when it mattered.
For sure. Let me see if I'll just let him know that we're in lobby 2 just in case he doesn't see us. So hang tight, chat. We do have an interview coming your way. Meanwhile, we will try to keep you entertained here.
Yeah, somehow. Oh, there we go.
Yay! Hey, Tad, welcome.
Hello.
So, congratulations on pulling off the split there.
Yeah, it's I mean, we really could have used the domination, but the that Vikings pick, game one, oof, really caught us off guard.
Yeah, so I actually would like to talk about game one first. Yosh and I, thank you very much for the follow, by the way. Really appreciate it. So, yeah, let's go back to game one. So, Cursed Hollow, is that a map that you guys have played a lot on, or were you a little surprised by that map choice by Red Rockets?
We've played it once, and we blew a 16 to 13 level lead on it. So
Wow.
we haven't had the greatest success on that map so far.
Yeah, and I don't know how you guys were feeling, but we were really shocked with the TLV pick there at the end because we figured once Red Rockets had picked up the Sonya that that was going to be their solo laner. So we were very caught off guard. Did you guys feel the same way as well?
Oh,
Just
absolutely.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was also their. I mean, because I do a lot of research on all the teams and stuff like that, and I mean, they had not played Vikings obviously all season, and then it was, I'm pretty sure their support player, or typically their support player was the one who ended up playing it.
Yeah,
That was another
definitely.
thing that caught us off guard. So
Right. Yeah, for sure. So now, as far as the heroes that you guys ended up with in game one, did you get kind of, pretty much what you were looking for, or did you get banned off of? I noticed they banned the Chromie against you guys both games. Is that something that your team plays a lot, or is that is that some kind of target ban, or did they just not want to face Chromie in general?
I would say that they just didn't want to face Chromie. I mean, we have a couple players who play it, but none of us have played it in an NGS match. So,
Okay,
um,
gotcha. So your heroes, were you happy with your draft in game one?
I mean, until the Vikings pick, I think we were we were okay with it. Once they had the Vikings, though, it was. I mean, I feel like part of our problem too was we needed to harder engage on fights. I don't think we went hard enough when it was 5v4s. You know, when they had Vikings, basically fighting over tributes. I think we needed to push harder. You know what I mean? Get in there more. And I mean, we basically let Vikings get tons of value by having some of those fights delayed, and then they got, with Vikings pre-level 10, they got to I think 2 out of the first 3 tributes. It might be the very first 2. I know they got 2 out of the first 3. I don't
Yeah, they
recall.
got the first one and the third.
Okay.
Gotcha. I mean, at least you had the Dahaka, though. I mean, your Dahaka seemed to be doing a decent job of getting some Viking kills and getting a little bit of soak for you guys, but it just seemed like it was really tough when it came down to, fights around the tribute, where, they were able, Red Rockets was able to keep those Vikings, off in the lanes, and then it was really devastating when they had the Vikings pushing with the curse.
Yeah. With that bribe and minion buff that he had, the siege buff, it was pretty hard to do anything against.
Yeah, for sure. So, moving on. Did you have any other questions about game one, DeMarco?
No, I think you covered everything I wanted to ask.
Okay. So moving on, let's get to the game. I'm sure you're wanting to talk about a lot more. So first of all, was it at all difficult, coming off of that loss? Especially, I know, it could be frustrating to play into, that type of strategy where you feel like, no matter what you do, you can't really stop the Vikings push. How did you guys kind of regroup between games?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think there was definitely a little bit of tilt after game one. I mean, frustration, I guess, is the biggest thing, right? Because we just obviously never expected that pick, and then we just got dominated by it. And knowing that we needed the 2-0 to guarantee a playoff spot, losing game one kind of almost puts our faith in Jailbait beating Dynamics now, or at least drawing them. Because now I believe we're 2 points up on Dynamics. And yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so going into game two, I mean, you were going in on your map choice, Towers of Doom. Did you, did you? I'm curious. There's a question I actually remembered. I was going to have DeMarcin remind me, but I want to ask about the Stitches pick because I was really curious whether you guys were intending to pick Stitches or whether you ended up picking Stitches because you saw the Medivh come out on the side of Red Rockets.
Was it both? I think because when we went into the second game, we decided to try to play a bit more for fun. So I think we first thought about taking Stitches, but when they took the Medivh, then we for sure took it to try to stop any
Shenanigans.
So was that counter? All right.
Yeah, and like we even talked about taking Deckard Cain because I haven't played Deckard Cain as a healer yet, and then they took it, so I was, I had to go back to the mouth then.
Yeah. Now, is TLV something that you guys have shown in NGS yet, or because I know Red Rockets ended up banning it this time?
We have not.
No, we haven't played it.
Okay, I was just
I
curious.
think we psyched them out, but it was all that lobby chat.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can play it, but I don't. I probably wouldn't feel comfortable playing it in NGS. So.
Right. Yet. But now that you've said that, now you're going to have to go work on it.
In the playoffs.
So take us kind of through Game 2 on Towers of Doom. The game ended up being super, super close. How are you guys feeling kind of like in the early to mid game?
We kind of got behind a little early, right?
Yeah, we kind of got a little behind, but we never were like too far behind. Like usually when we start losing a game, we kind of keep losing the game and we let ourselves get snowballed. But we were able to kind of come back because I think Red Rockets kind of overstepped a couple times and it let us kind of get back in the game.
Right. For us, I know DeMarcin and I were talking about it before you jumped in for the interview, but we felt like the huge turning point was that boss fight at the very end there. Now, you guys knew that Medivh was possibly going to be an issue there. So did you go into that fight specifically targeting Medivh? Because you were able to drop him pretty quickly, which made things a lot safer for you guys, not having to worry about the leyline seal there on the boss.
I think because that was when it was 3v3, right, for that boss fight?
Right.
I think.
Well, it was going in 4v3 against you guys, but you took out the Medivh.
Right, you got the Medivh really early, yeah.
Yeah, I think the mentality for us was to whoever was in the bush or trying to watch out for us was to try to like just kill that person first and then go on to the boss because they didn't have the greatest boss damage with KT is their really only damage source.
Right. No, that makes
and then,
sense.
After that, just stand on the point and then hope.
Right.
Yeah, it helped too that it was the fact that it is on like a small circle, right? So Genji and Sonya, where like Sonya just able to just sit there and spin, and Genji's just going back and forth with his ult and his E, and then Malf just dropping tons of heals basically just hitting 2 to 3 people with every W.
Yeah, we do have a question from chat. Just going back to the draft, were you guys considering banning TLV in Game 2?
Yeah,
yes.
We were.
Okay, so then they did it for you, and you were like, yay.
Well, I think we banned first on the second ban, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think
Yeah.
we just said that if we had to, we were going to try to use our last pick as something against it, basically.
Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense.
Making sure you had that strong Viking kill.
Yeah, exactly. We were looking at some of the end game stats, and it looked like your Genji player got a lot of work done. I think he had the highest damage in the game. That Dragon Blade seemed to be working out really well for you guys.
Yeah. So, I think I said this also as soon as we were getting into the game, that I was going to just put my regrowth on him and then he could go wild, so.
Nice.
Out.
He did do that. What other questions do you have about Game 2? DeMarcon, anything?
I just mean, so how did you guys did fall behind in that early game. What was your mentality going into that? You guys kind of talked a bit about how it was, frustrating and how you guys struggle with that. How did you manage to kind of recollect yourselves after a tough first game, after losing in the early game, the second game? How did that happen?
I mean, we basically know the game isn't over until our core's dead, right? So even as like, I mean, even with game one, we were frustrated, but the game wasn't over till the core died. We kept playing, right? You just got to keep playing. And then I think I believe it was mid keep. They overstayed mid keep a little bit, and that was like a pretty big turning point. I felt like.
Yeah, you dropped Deckard there, I think.
Picks.
Yeah.
Was it just the one?
It might have been more than one. I remember seeing the Deckard for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Your Stitches did a good job hooking both Deckard and Kel'Thuzad.
Yeah, really getting those backline hooks really was impactful.
Yeah, them having the Medivh was also pretty annoying for that. Not gonna lie, because someone gets hooked and it's just I release like an arrow and next like half my damage gets instant mitigated. It's like, god damn it.
Yeah, yeah, totally. All right. Well, so obviously you're kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with your playoff picture. So we definitely wish you the best of luck with that for sure. Did you have any other shout outs or comments you'd like to make before we let you go?
I mean, I'd like to say, I basically say thanks for the cast for one, and then Sonya, Genji, and Mel for making sure we didn't lose game 2.
Nice. What about you, TJ? Any shout outs for you?
I mean, shout out to everyone else on the team, because I mean, there's been plenty of frustration throughout the year. Going, what are we now? 3,000,003 with all our draws, and there's been a lot of times we felt like we could have won both, or done a little bit better. So I think we've all had a pretty good mentality of getting back, into the next game.
Right. Is this your is this your first season in NGS, or have you guys played before?
NGS, yeah.
Cool.
3 of us played in Chair League in one of the seasons, but then season 2.
Mm-hmm.
But this is our first time as this group of 5.
Nice. Are you guys enjoying the league so far?
Yeah, it's been. I mean, it's been pretty fun for me at least.
Nice.
I definitely say I'm enjoying it. The league seems extremely organized for like. Like everything seems set up really well, and I definitely like the scheduling when you want to works out well for our team, because 4 of the 5 of us are World of Warcraft raiders, so a couple nights are kind of knocked off right away from that. So
yeah, I am as well, so I understand. Nice. Right on. Well, congratulations and good luck to you guys on making the playoffs. And we'll be expecting to see some TLV play from you.
We'll see you. I'm ready.
No, I'm...
to damage. It's on them to play it.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Thank you, and also GG's Red Rockets, and I hate you guys for picking Lost Vikings.
Nice.
Calling them out.
I love it. You guys have a great evening.
All right, thanks. You too.
Bye. All right. Well, so there you have it. And I do definitely want to, even though I know we only interviewed Crisis Management, Red Rockets actually played really well. Both games. I mean, obviously game 1 with the Lost Vikings, they played that just perfectly. But I mean, look how close game 2 was. I mean, they played really well, especially the Diablo play stood out, I know, for both of us in that game.
Yeah, it was, some great heads up play by the Diablo, making sure he was getting the stuns right where he needed, as well as just, good job all around, from both teams. Such a great matchup, especially that second game. So close and so great to watch.
Yeah, it really was fun. It's always fun to get a split, and not have it'd be completely one-sided. Makes it a little more exciting, for sure.
Yeah.
So, DeMarcon, I definitely appreciate you joining me for the co-cast tonight. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, like I said, so it was super fun.
Yep,
Baby. And where can people find you if they want to see more of you?
If people want to see more of me, I'm another caster here for NGS. You can catch me at twitch.tv/DeMarcon. exactly how it's spelled on screen right now. You can go ahead and throw me a follow over there if you want to see some NGS action, especially coming into the playoffs. You'll be seeing. Yes.
Nice. And for me, you guys can find me on Twitter at SwingTime Gaming, and here on Twitch, I'm at twitch.tv/SwingTime. And, thank you everybody who joined us to watch this match. I know there were several matches being played tonight, so we definitely appreciate you swinging by our channel here and supporting me, and also DeMarcon, and of course Crisis Management and Red Rockets. So I think that is pretty much it. Thank you so much, everybody. And I believe my next cast is Saturday night, 8 p.m. So if you want to come back and check that out, I'd love to have you. But have a great night. And DeMarcon, thanks again.
Yep, thanks for having me.
All right, everybody. Take care.